San Diego Art Institute International Show. And I would like to introduce Julie Garner, who is one of our prize winners, and her piece that she has entered. Julie, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I see that this is a piece of fragments of photographs. Can you tell us what their photographs are of?
This photograph is of a courthouse building here in San Diego, under construction, and I photographed it from many different angles, from a stairway across from the building. And then, so it's about approximately 20 or so views that I then put together through the process of weaving.
That is fascinating. And I understand that there are lots of photographs behind each photograph too. It's not just, they're interwoven. And there's a process. What is the name of that process? Is it weft and...
Well, the strips that come down are the warp, and the ones that go across are the weft.
Yes.
And so when I combine the photographs, the strips, I splice them with tape behind. So there's hundreds of splices that aren't seen here where one photograph meets another.
This is so fascinating to me because it draws so much upon art history and working with tapestries and...
That's where it came from, because I studied tapestry weaving. I used to weave traditional fiber, and then I moved more into photography, and then at one point it just came to me to put them together, and that's what this came from then.
It is a wonderful piece, and thank you so much for bringing it to us.
Thank you.
The winner of the San Diego Art Institute International Show. We're so happy to have you here.
Thank you for the invite.
Tell us about this wonderful painting. It's watercolor and...
Yeah, basically, this is of Judge Earl Canos. I call it the Judge because when I knew him, which was only about a year or so, I had a lot of respect for who he was, and I couldn't call him Earl or Dad or anything like that. The family pretty much adopted me. The family invited me to paint at their home to give lessons because the judge had contracted Alzheimer's. And because he liked to paint as well, they thought maybe he would come back. And well, he did. Every Friday I'd show up, he'd be awake, and he'd come down and he'd either paint with us or he'd tell me what I was doing wrong. So wonderful friendship.
So he was your teacher as well?
No, he was just, he had his own opinion.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, this is wonderful, and it's translucent. It's just everything a watercolor should be.
Right, thank you.
We're so happy to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Also,
I appreciate it.
Here is Mrs. Canos, which we would like to introduce to you. We are so happy to have you here, Mrs. Canos, for the San Diego International Art Show. And this is your husband. Yes, absolutely. We are so delighted, and you did a wonderful job. Thank you both so much.
It was a special man.
San Diego artist. You're in every one of the San Diego art shows, and again here in the international show. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm pleased.
We love your piece, and when you tell us about it, I see there are threads and sewing, and what mediums did you use?
Well, I started out with a drawing and some collage pieces, and I don't like to glue a whole lot because I'm sort of messy, and so I used to sew a lot. And so I started sewing, and I thought it was also interesting because our lives are not exactly seamless, and so we sort of stitch them together as we go along. So that's sort of the theme.
That's a wonderful analogy. Thanks so much, Judy.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Here we are at the Art Institute at the International Show. Tim Field, our director.
Hello, how are you doing?
It's a great show tonight, Tim. Thanks so much.
It's a beautiful show. And we're so happy to have Daniel come back to the Roost.
It's good to be back. Good to be back. I worked here 10 years off and on, and Tim was my boss, so it's great to be back here.
This is Daniel Foster, our juror, who judged many, many of the digital prints. How many were there?
1,337 to be exact, and I chose under 100. So for every yes, there were 12 no's. very stiff competition.
Well, you chose well, and thank you very much.
Thank
From
you.
the Oceanside Museum.
That's right.